Hello, my name is Mohammed Sahib Hussain. My student ID is 331051107. Today I'm going to be showing my assignment for mobile web application development. So, right now I'm going to show you my wireframe for task 1. This is the wireframe I pre-made for task 1. So with the wireframe I made, I had 4 buttons: ginger kitten, short kitten, and tabby kitten, long hair kitten, with a clear button in the middle and then the dialogue in the middle as well. So this is what I was aiming for. And now let me show you the user interface. This is the final user interface. I have 4 buttons, one here, one here. There's four in each corner. One in each corner, I mean. And if I click on this one, it will display what I clicked on, and then there will also be a clear button in the middle. So if I click on each and every button, I will get a dialogue displayed in the middle. And the clear button in the middle will just clear everything altogether. So this, compared to my wireframe, I think I done quite well. I matched it quite good. And now let me show you my Java. With the backend, I used onClick events and I declared them in the XML to dynamically update the user interface based on the button interactions. So as you can see, I used onClick listeners for each button clicked. This design, it helps keep the code clean and more responsive. It provides immediate feedback to the user. I thought this was the best way to do this task. And now onto task 2. And now for my task 2. With the task 2, I have a class type with 3 checkboxes: cardio, strength, and fighting. So you click one of these checkboxes, and with the checkbox, the session box will update, and this will have a selection spinner, so which will have more options available. And then at the bottom, I also have 2 buttons, which is submit and clear. So this is what my wireframe. This is what I expected my user interface to look like. And now onto my final user interface. So with my final user interface, I have 3 class types: cardio, strength, and training. As you can see, each of them update the session spinner. So if I choose strength training, I have 3 options now. This is the spinner. I can choose any 3 and then press start training. And if I press submit, a dialog will be presented at the bottom. See, so this is what my final user interface has. And now with the backend. With the backend, I used a spinner, and I used radio groups to update the spinner. And so whichever radio button was chosen, the spinner would update according to that. And I used if-else statements to switch between each button. And at the bottom is the if-else statement for whichever button was clicked or whichever option was clicked. This is what will be returned to the user. And now to my task 3. So now onto task 3. So this is my wireframe. With my wireframe, I have checkboxes, and these checkboxes are options to what the user wants. And so the user will now click the boxes and input his quantity and then order. And at the bottom, the total will be displayed, and he also has an option to clear. So now let's show you my the final user interface. So let's set that one. So for task 3, it's a pizza ordering app. So this is my user interface. With the user interface, I have 3 selection boxes for pizza size, and as you can see at the bottom, as I click medium, it will change the total to the medium price. And now for the toppings, if I click the toppings for, say, I want tomatoes, mushrooms, and peppers, it will also change the cost, and change the quantity will also change the cost. And when I press order, the total will display at the bottom, and if I want to clear, it will clear all selections, and I can choose another order. And now to the Java. For task 3, I implemented a pizza ordering app where the total price is calculated based on user inputs, so such as pizza size, topping, and quantity. I attached event listeners to each radio button checkboxes and quantity input field to trigger the calculation. So there's a calculation method then at the end, which will calculate the size, or calculate the cost and display at the end. So the challenge I had with this was handling the edge cases, such as deselecting the toppings or the invalid inputs for the quantity. So what I did for this, I implemented input validation logic to ensure calculations only occurred with valid inputs. It helped the app to be more reliable and reinforced the importance of user input validation in interactive applications. Now let's move on to task 4. Okay, and now for task 4, I have these are my wireframes. So for the wireframes, I have movie 1 and movie 3. So it will be a transition to different movies. A dialogue will appear on the screen, and a different movie will appear on the screen. When the bottom scroller is moved and each movie is clicked, that's the screen that will appear. So this is the way I try to implement it. And now if I show you my final user interface. So with my final user interface, I have two buttons, next and previous. If I click next, it will go to our next movie, and previous back to the back one. And at the bottom, I have a scroller view, so it will scroll through movies. And if I click on the scroll, one of the pictures, it will go to that one movie, and it will change the list. So say if I want to go to Avengers, this will be the picture I'll come up, and if I want to go next, it will go to the next movie. And now for my code, it involved creating a recycler view to display movie data dynamically. So I implemented a recycler view, and I added a custom adapter which binds my movie details such as title, description, images to the views. So this is the title, description, image. So this is how I get all my fields. And over here, I have buttons to navigate through the movies, and I also have the scroller view at the bottom to navigate. With this task, I had the challenge I had with this task was ensuring that the state of the movie index remained consistent during navigation. And to solve this, I designed a helper method, update movie display to manage index updates and ensure the user interface reflected the correct state. And yeah, so now on to task 5. And now for task 5. For task 5, my wireframes, I have 3 wireframes. One is the login screen. With the login screen, you're able to input a username, password, and register to make a new account. And for my second screen is the register screen, where I have to input my details and register, make an account. And then the third screen is the login screen. So after you log in, this is what will come up, the options and what will be displayed. So this is what I was aiming for. And now let me show you what I achieved. So this is my final user interface. So this is my login screen, as you can see. And then my register screen would be here. So you can just put in a username. So let's say HJK, male, 2005, username HJK, password HJK, cool, registration successful. And this is the registration screen. So as this is the main screen now. So you have your name, your gender, your year of birth, and then the membership you have. You select the membership you want, and that's the membership you applied for, and that's what comes up. You can cancel it and apply for another one, and then you cancel again, and then you can log out back to the main screen. And your login credentials will be saved. So if I use my one, MSH, my initial one, MSH. So this is what I have, and I can just log in. This is what I would have, and log back out. So now if I show you my screen, so I have 4 classes. So the one that would be most important to show, then that would be the backend. So I implemented a secure registration and login system with SQLite, and SQLite is the database that stores all the login information. It validates the user's credentials and tracks login attempts and enforces a limit of 3 failed attempts. So if we go, this would be the database. This would be the table, what will be stored, the ID, the full name, the gender, birth, username, password. This is where the data comes from. And if we go, this is if you wanted to insert a new user into the database. This is when you use the registration system. And yeah, that's what I would do for this task. And now on to task 6. So for task 6, I have 4 wireframes. One wireframe is the contact list. These are all the contacts I've added, a search bar and an add contact button. The second screen is the add contact page where you add your contact. The third screen is the search bar in action, which will search for the contact you want. And the fourth wireframe is the one where you would call your contact. And now my final user interface. So this is my final user interface. So with this, I'm able to click onto the contacts if I want to call them or delete them. So I'm able to search contacts. So say if I'm searching for my mom, and that's what would come up. If I'm searching for my name, that's what would come up, and so on. So it searches every single contact for what you're looking for. And if I wanted to add a contact, these would be the options. So I enter the name, email, and phone number. And another feature would be calling the contact, which will take you to a phone screen, and I would be able to call them. Now for the Java, for this I used SQLite with the recycler view. It was to display a list of contacts dynamically. The search feature uses a text watcher to filter results in real time. So what I did was I used a recycler view to display contacts, and I initialized the views. I loaded the contacts in via the database, and I called forward all the contacts from the database I had. With this task, ensuring performance remained consistent with larger datasets. The solution I used to help the performance of this was I optimized the database queries, and I planned indexing for faster search operations. This helped me understand more about database design and UI responsiveness. So now on to task 7. And for task 7. For task 7 I have 4 wireframes. One wireframe is the original movie main screen. The second one is the reservation screen, where the reservation pop-ups come. The third one is where you select the date you want to reserve, and the fourth one is the final page where the reservations all pop up. And now onto Android Studio, the final user interface. So with the final user interface, I have all the movies in the front with the descriptions at the bottom. So if I want to reserve The Dark Knight, I can choose a date. So say I want to reserve for the 30th, confirm, and this will be the dialog popped up, and I can go to the reservations, and all my reservation will come up here. And back to movies will take me to the main screen. I have the add movie function at the top, which is protected by admin password, and the admin password would be located in the code, and you can input that and add a movie by adding a URL and the description and picture. So if I click another one, let's say 30th, go to reservations. These are the 2 reservations then available. And now if I go to my Java code, I implemented a reservation system using SQLite. That stores the data, and I use Picasso for the dynamic image loading. So this is the database which has all the movies stored, and in the actual main activity I have Picasso installed here. So the URLs will be added here, and using Picasso the URLs will generate the image, and I'll be able to retrieve the images. The challenge with this was ensuring the reservation data was displayed correctly, and adding Picasso was very complicated because I had to go into the Gradle scripts and add the Picasso, which I did not know about, and it actually taught me how to manage it better, the Gradle scripts, and how to bind data properly. And as a conclusion, this assignment, it helped me to build my Android Studio knowledge. It helped me how to manage dynamic content, optimize database queries, and handle event-driven programming effectively. Each challenge deepened my understanding of Android development, and it prepared me for more complex projects in the future. Thank you.